In the last one, we managed to get our profile picture setting by choosing a photo from the gallery. Now we're going to work on taking a new photo. So we're going to still set the profile photo, but we're going to be using the camera to do so. So where are we going to start? We're going to start in profile fragment, and inside profile fragment, down here in the onActivityResult method, we need to handle that data that's coming from the camera. And if you recall, we still haven't set it up so that if we go to the middle screen, we can actually share a picture from the camera. So we also need to do that. So we're going to need to do kind of a very similar flow to what we did with the gallery, where we're checking if it's the root task. If it is the root task, then carry on as usual, go to next activity. If it isn't the root task, then we want to navigate back to the account settings activity and then set the profile photo. So let's, I can delete this comment because that doesn't really make sense. So first I'll actually grab that isRootTask method. So let's go into the gallery fragment and let's go, I think it's in here, yeah. So copy this isRootTask method right here, and let's go back to photo fragment, and let's just paste that right here below the onCreateView method. And then we're going to write logic. Actually, I can just go to the gallery and do the same thing. So let's copy the same logic wherever we put it. I can't remember. Right here. So if it is a root task, do a thing. If it isn't, then do another thing. So grab that stuff and head back to photo fragment and just paste that in. And now we're just going to change this to fit our needs. We aren't going to have the same stuff, so the logic will be the same, but not the same navigation. Because what we're going to be retrieving from this intent is actually a bitmap. We're not going to be getting an image URL. So that's where it's going to be a little different. And the first one I want to work on is actually the profile image. We're going to do the next activity next. So let's go bitmap, bitmap. Actually, we can probably put this above the root task, because either way, that's what we're going to be getting. And we want to get the bitmap from the data. So get extras, and then it's actually a keyword argument. So what you do is you just do .get and then data. And we need to, it's telling me that it found an object and it's required to be a bitmap. So we're just going to typecast this to a bitmap. And there we go. So just something to note, this is just a keyword argument. So you just kind of have to know that to get this type of data, this is the keyword that you use, and you typecast it to a bitmap. So now we're going to go back down below here, below our logic section, and we're going to use the try-catch block because I want to make sure that it's not null, because if it is, then it's going to crash our app. So we're just going to catch the null pointer exception and just throw that null pointer in there, and now we can start writing our code. So let's log it and say we received a new bitmap from camera, and this is going to come out as gibberish, but at least then we know that it has something. So even if it's gibberish, we know that it's something at least. And then we're going to use actually we can probably just copy it from gallery fragment, because we're going to use the same sort of stuff. So I probably shouldn't have actually deleted that, but it's going to be similar to this, except we're going to be attaching a bitmap as an extra. So let's go back to photo fragment and paste that in. And so we have selected image here currently, but we need to change it to bitmap. So let's go selected bitmap, and let's go to open the directory here, go to res, go to values, and go to strings, and let's add a new intent extra in the form of that bitmap. So selected image, and we'll change this one to selected bitmap. Just paste that there. We can close that and close this project pane. And then here we want to attach the bitmap as the extra, so just do bitmap. And all this is the same. We also want it to return to the fragment. We want to start the activity, and then we also want to finish it. So all that stuff is going to be the same. So now let's head over into account settings activity, and we need to change this quite a bit, because we're going to need to again handle those two different situations, whether it's coming from the camera or whether it's coming from the selected image, because we have two different data types. We have an image URL if we select a gallery image, and then we have a bitmap if we're using the camera. So let's go down to wherever our get intent method is, which is right here, get incoming intent, and I want to first get rid of this if statement up here, this parent one up here. Let's get rid of that, and I'm just going to tab that in. And so if the intent, so that's fine, that's all good, we can still leave that. And then we're going to come down here and start writing our logic for our two different situations. So the first one is if intent dot has extra, and then we want the string extra, r.string dot selected image. And then the second situation, so we can do else if, then we have our selected bitmap. And those are our two situations. And this one was for our image URL, so I'm just going to copy and paste that up there. Nothing is going to change about it. Well, actually, we're going to make one small change, but we're not going to do that quite yet. And then down here, we are going to have a similar situation, but instead of passing the image URL here, we're going to need to pass the Firebase methods an upload or a bitmap instead of the URL. So we're going to change this. For this case, we're going to have the URL. Then we're going to pass another parameter as a null parameter where the bitmap is going to go. So then in this case, this is going to change to being null here, and then this one is going to be the bitmap. So selected bitmap. So of course now we need to go into our Firebase methods and change that. So let's go to Firebase methods, and in our upload photo section, currently we just have this image URL. So let's do a comma here and do bitmap BM, and that should make these errors go away. It's telling me that it found a string, but oh right, because we need to get a parsable. So get parsable, no, not array extra, get parsable extra, and it's probably still going to be mad because it's saying I have a parsable, but I need a bitmap. So then we just need to tell it that we have a bitmap here, and that should be good. So now those errors go away, and we need to go into Firebase methods and now change this to reflect what we need. So let's go here, and I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to say if bitmap equals null, then we can get the bitmap from the URL. But if the bitmap isn't null, then we just do nothing. We're just going to carry on like usual. We convert it to a byte array, and then we upload it just like normal. So I'm just going to copy this little if statement right here, and I'm going to scroll down to where we're in the profile photo section here, and I'm just going to highlight this line where we do the same thing and paste. And also too, one thing I just want to mention that we just changed in the last video was we moved this set view pager method up above everything instead of inside the add-on success listener, and I realize that's not a good idea, so let's cut that and let's move it back down into the add-on success listener. The reason that it's not a good idea is if different phones have different upload speeds, and if the upload speed was too slow, it would switch to the edit profile fragment, and then the photo isn't going to get changed in time. So you'd have to like go back, and then the photo would be changed. So it's just better to have it down here. Okay, so those two things are changed. Let's go back to account settings activity, and I'm just having one last look over things here. I think it's pretty good though. Yeah, so let's test this and see if we can actually change our profile photo by using the camera. Oh, we have an issue. We found an error here. So this is because we changed the upload new photo method here, so we need to pass that null parameter for the bitmap. And I realized another problem we're going to have is when we actually navigate to account settings activity, because if we as soon as the account settings activity starts, it's going to check for an incoming intent, and if there isn't one, it's going to throw a null pointer exception because of this right here. So we're going to need to actually put this. Let's grab this if statement here. I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to do if that or the selected bitmap, then we can proceed. So if it has the extras, then we can proceed. Otherwise, we don't want to do that because we'll throw a null pointer. So that'll be okay. So that will take care of the null pointer exception, and let's give that a try now. Okay, so let's go to the profile, go to edit my profile, click change the photo, and we're going to go to the photo tab, open the camera. I'm going to take a picture of this water bottle here. Hit check mark. We're navigated back to, there we go. So that looks actually good. Everything uploaded. Picture was there. Let's navigate back and go check it out again. And we're good. Cool. So that's doing everything we expect. In the next one, we will, what are we going to do? Work on uploading a photo from the actual share activity. So if we press here, go to photo, open camera, take a picture, do all that stuff. That's what we'll work on in the next one. So I'll see you guys in that next video.